3 minutes left. God just spoke your name in heaven, and your life is about to change forever. He sent Archangel Michael to deliver the message straight to you. Open it immediately. The moment is now. A divine countdown has begun. 3 minutes left before the shift unfolds. Listen closely, for time itself has paused in reverence. There is a trembling in the heavens, a vibration in the spirit realm. Something eternal has turned its eyes toward you. The throne of God has spoken your name, not whispered, not hinted, but declared it aloud in the courts of eternity. Your name echoed through the celestial halls, stirring angels to attention, stirring destinies to motion, and commanding Archangel Michael to arise and deliver a message of urgent transformation. This is not a general message, not a public broadcast to the masses. No, this is personal. It is divinely timed for you. Feel the atmosphere around you. It has shifted. Time is no longer just ticking. It is counting down. 3 minutes. That's all. 3 minutes before a spiritual doorway closes and another opens. 3 minutes before what you've cried out for, fasted for, wrestled for, finally begins to move in alignment with heaven's design. The Spirit of God is brooding over your situation right now, and you can sense it. The stillness is not empty. It is holy. It is the stillness that precedes a divine announcement. This message carries both a warning and a promise. The warning is this: do not ignore what your spirit already knows. The promise is this: if you are still, if you are obedient, if you receive what is about to be spoken, breakthrough will erupt into your reality like sudden rain after drought. For the Spirit of God is whispering through the veil, be still, for your name was just written in the winds of breakthrough. And now, as you stand in this holy moment, know that the next few minutes are not natural. They are divine. What is falling away is not punishment, it is preparation. What is rising is not coincidence, it is calling. And the Archangel of the Lord stands ready to speak into the depths of your soul. Type I receive in the comments if your spirit is trembling. Blessing code 7777 is now descending. The words thunder not through sound, but through spirit, vibrating across realms, igniting the very air around you. As the heavens part, a blazing figure descends, wings of fire, eyes like molten gold, radiance too pure for mortal sight. It is I, Michael, Archangel of the Almighty, warrior of light and keeper of divine order. The command has been issued from the throne. The time window is narrow. 3 minutes. That is all before the heavens shift again and this portal of transformation seals shut. Every second that passes now carries eternal weight. The atmosphere is pregnant with holy urgency. The veil between worlds thins as divine intention takes form. Heaven has spoken your name, and your name carries weight in the spiritual record. When it was uttered, light responded. When it was declared, angels assembled. When it was spoken, destinies began to realign. This moment is not random, it is appointed. You are not scrolling by chance. Your spirit was drawn here by command. This message is not broadcast to the crowd, but delivered to the chosen. You were seen in your silence, counted in your weeping, marked in your endurance. God saw every moment you thought was wasted. Every sigh, every sleepless night, every tear shed in secret, none escape his record. Heaven's chambers echo with your perseverance, and the divine decree has now been released. It is time. As I stand before you, the power of the living word surrounds you like a whirlwind. You can feel the charge, the hum of divine electricity rising in your chest. Your spirit knows something ancient, and eternal is stirring. You are not merely hearing, you are remembering. The Father's intention for your life is awakening again. God saw your tears, says the Lord of hosts. He counted them as pearls in his courts. Each one was a seed, and I have sent my angel to declare that the harvest has begun. The message is clear. A heavenly transaction has been initiated in your favor. What was withheld is being released. What was delayed is being delivered. What was bound is being broken. Your life, your atmosphere, your destiny, all are being rewritten under divine authority. And I say to you now, do not fear the shift. The tremor you feel within is not chaos. It is realignment. Heaven is stretching the borders of your blessing. Every vibration around you, every shiver down your spine, every sudden awareness. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that heaven is near. The throne has spoken, and I am its messenger. A release has been signed in your name. A restoration has been ordered in your favor. A renewal has begun in your spirit. So now, lift your head. Stand in your light. Feel the fire of divine attention fall upon you. For this message is your turning point, your Kairos moment. The countdown has begun, and eternity has chosen to intervene. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this word. Lesson code 4411 is now activated over your life. Lately, something has felt off around you. People acting strange, energy shifting without reason, familiar places suddenly feeling foreign. You've noticed it, haven't you? The silence between conversations, the subtle change in the air, the heaviness that enters a room before words are even spoken. This is not paranoia. This is perception. The spiritual atmosphere has been vibrating around your name, and your spirit has been catching fragments of divine movement. There are watchers, not all in flesh, observing your steps, assessing your next move. They can sense what is coming, but they do not fully know. They have felt the tremor of heaven drawing near to you, and it has unsettled them. The unease you feel is not confusion. It is spiritual interference. The Spirit of God has been stirring your soul, shaking you from the comfort of the ordinary because your season of stillness is over. You are being moved, pushed, and pressed because the next dimension requires greater awareness. Your tears have watered the soil of transformation, and heaven is about to make it bloom. Every disruption, every misunderstanding, every delay has been serving the purpose of divine awakening. You have not been cursed, you have been summoned. Listen carefully. The discomfort was deliberate. The shaking was necessary. The tension you've been living through was not a sign of loss, but the announcement of your spiritual reconfiguration. God was allowing the emotional turbulence because He was tuning your sensitivity to the frequency of heaven. When you felt detached, He was rewiring you. When people pulled away, He was clearing the static around your signal. When you felt like you were losing everything, He was preparing you to receive something new, something too holy to be surrounded by the noise of the past. There is a reason your spirit has been restless. The unseen realm has been rearranging itself to prepare for the message now unfolding before you. Every strange encounter, every whisper of doubt, every dream that lingers too long in your memory, all of it has been connected. You've been walking through divine preparation disguised as emotional chaos. What appeared as confusion was actually alignment in motion. The Spirit has been removing attachments that could not carry the weight of what is coming. The watchers have noticed the glow around you, not a physical light, but the emanation of heaven's mark. You are being singled out by divine attention. The shift in your environment is heaven's way of announcing that your next elevation cannot remain hidden much longer. The battle around your emotions is proof that breakthrough is near. When the unseen begins to tremble, it is because God's hand is moving. And now, Archangel Michael speaks. Do not be afraid of the unease, for the shaking is not against you. It is for you. The Spirit is drawing you closer to the center of divine motion. The disruption is the doorway. Step through it in faith. You were never meant to remain comfortable in the old. The mystery that surrounds you is the signal that your new season has already begun. Heaven has decided to intervene, and everything around you is adjusting to the sound of your name being declared once again in the realm of light. So, stand still in the storm. Let the confusion dissolve in revelation. What feels like loss is divine redirection. What feels like isolation is heavenly intimacy. You are not being dismantled, you are being remade. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if this word confirms your spirit. Blessing code 1122 is now surrounding you. Beloved, if this message has spoken to your soul, then you already know this is not coincidence. It is calling. When you give into this moment, you are not helping a channel. You are sowing into God's movement on earth. Every seed you release opens another heart to hear the same word that awakened you tonight. Heaven calls this the sowing of light, where giving becomes prophecy in motion. I declare, as you plant into this ministry through super thanks, membership, or PayPal in the description below, your seed will echo your faith in the heavenly courts. Give, and it shall be given unto you, says the Lord, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I invite you now to move in obedience, for your offering is not payment. It is partnership with heaven's purpose. Release it with faith, and divine oil will mark your giving with abundance. Sow now, and watch the harvest respond. What you have been facing was never random. Every delay, every rejection, every closed door carried divine permission. Heaven allowed the conflict because it was necessary for revelation. The battles you've endured were not meant to break you. They were designed to reveal the warrior within you. You have been walking through a fire that the natural light could not see. Yet even in that fire, you were not alone. You were surrounded by unseen armies, and the hand of God hath been steady upon your path. Hear this truth. The conflict around you has been the language of the Spirit. Every strange resistance was a signpost pointing to your destiny. The battle intensified, declares Michael, because your destiny was detected. Hell recognized your rising before you did. The pressure that seemed unbearable with the alarm of heaven announcing that your calling had been activated. When your name was spoken in the courts of glory, it triggered motion in both realms. Angels mobilized to assist, and darkness rallied to oppose. What you called warfare, heaven called promotion and progress. Understand this. The testing of your obedience was the foundation of your next authority. God has been refining you through restraint. When you chose silence over retaliation, heaven marked it as wisdom. When you forgave instead of fought, you stepped into higher command. Your quiet endurance became your weapon. Your stillness became your sword. The strength of the righteous is not always in battle cries but in divine composure. You have been proving, through every trial, that you can carry the weight of what is coming. The Spirit says, you are not losing, you are being refined. What looked like loss was a pruning that would allow your true fruit to grow. Every attack that came against you had a hidden expiration date. Angels have been stationed around your dwelling. Divine surveillance is active. Your steps have been ordered, and your tears have been collected. Every sleepless night was recorded in heaven's archives as evidence for your vindication. The conflict was never about the situation. It was about the assignment. The enemy does not fight the ordinary, he wars against the anointed. The storm that surrounded you carried within it the blueprint of your next elevation. God was not punishing you. He was preparing you to steward power. The pain that felt so heavy was sharpening your discernment. The betrayal that cut so deep was forging your wisdom. The silence that felt unbearable was cultivating your sensitivity to His voice. Do not despise the warfare. Do not curse the waiting. Every blow you endured in the Spirit was shaping you into someone unshakable. You have been learning divine strategy through hardship. You have been trained by fire and refined by resistance. What the enemy meant for destruction, heaven has already routed into destiny. Every moment of opposition was necessary to expose what could not walk with you into the next dimension. Now, stand firm. Your reactions determine your outcome. Respond in spirit, not in flesh. The conflict is not designed to crush you. It is designed to clarify you. The smoke will clear soon, and when it does, you will see that the very fire that threatened you has illuminated your path. For those who endure, glory awaits. For those who trust in silence, indication is certain. You are not in retreat. You are in refinement. Heaven is preparing to crown your endurance with manifestation. Type "I am protected" in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing code 9090 has now been released over your path. The heavens have begun to stir with movement, and the atmosphere grows heavy with divine anticipation. Within the next 72 hours, a shift will manifest, not just in the spiritual, but in the visible realm. You will sense it before you see it. The vibration will increase. The patterns of your days will begin to alter. This is not imagination. It is fulfillment. The clock of destiny is striking, and what was concealed is about to be revealed. Something hidden, a person, an event, a truth, will surface to expose the unseen hand that hath been manipulating the edges of your life. The Spirit of God has set this moment in motion to bring all things into light. There are forces that have stood against your rising, silent but strategic. They have whispered in the shadows, hoping your spirit would grow weary before the dawn. But heaven has declared that their time of influence has ended. Do not fear, says Michael, for what plots against you will collapse under its own weight. The schemes of the unseen are already unraveling. Those who thought they could hinder you have been caught in their own nets. The spiritual atmosphere feels dense because breakthrough is pressing through the veil. It is not chaos, it is contraction. What you are feeling is not the end. It is the beginning of divine birth. You will sense confrontation in the days ahead. People or situations may rise suddenly against you, but do not respond in fear. The confrontation is not meant to harm you. It is meant to reveal what no longer belongs in your path. Pressure always precedes elevation. The old order resists when heaven prepares to replace it. What feels like tension is simply the world you once knew resisting your emergence into the new. You are in the labor of transformation. The pain you feel is proof that destiny is crowning. Heaven watches your response carefully in this hour. The next 3 days are not ordinary. They are spiritual markers. Every thought, every word, every decision will echo through this transition. Keep your spirit anchored, for what unfolds will not be delayed again. The shift is scheduled, and the divine clock will not be altered. The light will expose what has been concealed, and truth will bring justice to what was hidden. You may feel a sense of urgency rising in your chest. That is the Spirit aligning you to heaven's rhythm. God is compressing time for your sake. What once would have taken years will begin to unfold in moments. The acceleration may feel overwhelming, but do not resist it. The wind of change is blowing in your direction. You will notice unusual signs, conversations that confirm this word, dreams that carry clarity, or sudden insight that feels almost electric. These are divine signals. Heaven is syncing your environment to your purpose. And now, Archangel Michael declares, the days of delay have expired. The barriers that stood before you are collapsing. Every opposing voice that spoke against your name shall be silenced by the authority of divine truth. You will see this with your own eyes. You will know that the Lord your God has intervened. So remain steady. Do not fight what is being revealed. What appears to be shaking is actually your foundation settling into divine stability. The old structure cannot withstand what is coming, and so it must break for the new to rise. Do not mourn its collapse. Rejoice in its necessity. For through its falling, your freedom is being born. The countdown continues, and heaven stands ready to act. The hand of the Almighty is moving, and no power can stop it now. Type "I am ready" in the comments if your spirit bears witness to this. Blessing code 3030 is now active over your next 72 hours. Heaven's command is simple yet absolute. Be still. In this hour, stillness is not weakness. It is weaponry. The Spirit is positioning you behind divine shields, and your silence will confuse the plans of those who speak against you. There are movements happening in the unseen, negotiations being made in heaven's courts on your behalf. The instruction is clear. Do not speak against what you do not yet understand. The moment you engage in unnecessary battles, you step out of alignment with divine strategy. But when you hold your peace, heaven fights with unmatched precision. The air around you is charged. You can sense it. A heaviness that feels like pressure, a quiet tension that seems to stretch between moments. This is spiritual warfare conducted under divine order. Angels stand stationed at the corners of your life, holding back forces that would dare to approach. The enemy waits for reaction, but your silence starves him of power. Every time you choose restraint over retaliation, the heavens release strength in your favor. Your calm has become your cover. Your silence has become your shield. Archangel Michael speaks again. Heaven fights when you do not. The sword of divine justice moves swiftly when your hands remain lifted in prayer and not clenched in anger. Let your warfare be stillness, and let your strength be in peace. You have reached a level of spiritual maturity where reaction is no longer required. The battle is not yours to manage. It belongs to the Lord of hosts. The silence you maintain now will speak louder in the spirit than any argument ever could. In this sacred period, your observation is your armor. Watch without fear. The Spirit will reveal what you need to know and conceal what you are not meant to carry. Guard your words. Every sentence you speak carries prophetic weight in this atmosphere. Speak only life. Declare only what heaven approves. Your voice is an instrument of creation. Use it to build, not to break. The enemy cannot curse what you refuse to confess. Pray in quiet spaces. Do not announce your warfare to those who do not understand it. The mysteries being worked on your behalf are too precious for public exposure. There are moments when the greatest act of power is to remain invisible while God moves visibly through your circumstances. Do not reveal your plans, your dreams, or your next steps to anyone whose spirit is not aligned with yours. What is being birthed in you is fragile and sacred. It must grow in secrecy before it is revealed in glory. Protective affirmations must now govern your every breath. I am covered. I am guarded. I am sealed by light. These are not just words, they are spiritual codes. Every time you declare them, heaven reinforces your boundaries. The light of God encircles you like fire. No curse, no word, no weapon shall cross that border. You are under celestial surveillance, hidden in the shadow of the Almighty. Remember, stillness is not inactivity. It is divine warfare in disguise. It is the sacred pause before the victory sound. You are not being silenced. You are being sanctified. The Spirit is teaching you to hear without haste, to move without noise, and to win without struggle. The quieter you become, the more powerful heaven moves on your behalf. So hold your ground. Let peace be your strategy, and faith your fortress. The same God who brought you through the fire now surrounds you in light. You are hidden under the wings of protection, and no darkness can pierce the shield of obedience. The time of reaction is over. The time of revelation has begun. Stand still and watch what heaven will do. Type "I am" covered in the comments if you receive this divine guidance. Lesson code 4545 is now surrounding your household. You are not the same as when this battle began. Every moment of resistance, every night of uncertainty, every tear you shed has transformed you. The fire that once threatened to consume you has now forged you into something unbreakable. The storm that surrounded you was not designed to destroy you. It was designed to reveal you. The old version of you would have crumbled beneath the weight of what you now carry. But the new you stands fortified, refined, and illuminated. You have emerged from the ashes with spiritual authority that cannot be taken, only recognized. Heaven calls you by a new name. The sound of that name reverberates through eternity, redeemed, elevated, empowered. You are the living testimony that what the enemy meant for evil hath been turned for divine good. The wounds that once marked your weakness have become symbols of your warfare. They are proof that you have survived what was meant to silence you. Every scar now speaks a language of victory, declaring to all of creation, "This one was chosen and did not fall." The Spirit of God now says, "You have outgrown the shadows that tried to contain you." What once intimidated you no longer holds power over your spirit. Fear has lost its grip. Doubt has lost its voice. You stand clothed in light, crowned in endurance, and wrapped in grace. Heaven rejoices, for you have stepped beyond survival. You are now walking in sovereignty. Your silence was not surrender. It was the stillness of one being trained for kingship. Your tears were not signs of defeat. They were oil being poured out for your anointing. Archangel Michael extends his wings over you, a canopy of radiant protection. Rise now, he declares, for the time of shrinking has ended. You have been hidden long enough. Heaven has declared your unveiling. The winds that once opposed you now carry you higher. What you lost has become your launching point. The pressure that once pushed you down is the same power lifting you up. The shift toward empowerment is already in motion, unstoppable, undeniable, and divinely orchestrated. You may feel the remnants of weariness, the lingering ache of past battles, but even that is being transformed. The weight you feel is not burden, it is glory settling upon your shoulders. You have become a carrier of divine energy, a vessel through which heaven manifests victory. Every time you speak light, creation responds. Every time you stand firm in faith, darkness trembles. You have become a living portal of breakthrough, one whose very presence carries divine permission for others to rise. Now hear this truth. You are not rising by might, nor by human strength, but by divine assignment. The favor resting upon you is not random. It is recognition from heaven that you have passed the test. You have proven trustworthy under pressure, faithful in silence, and steadfast in obscurity. And now the gates open. The realms of possibility unfold before you. You are being elevated not for personal gain, but for divine influence. Your life will now speak what your words once could not. So lift your head, chosen one. Feel the divine wind at your back. The wings of Michael stretch wide over you as you ascend from endurance into empowerment, from battle into blessing, from surviving into reigning. The light within you has matured, and the heavens now respond to your command. You are no longer merely protected, you are commissioned. You are no longer hidden, you are appointed. You are no longer in waiting, you are in motion. The time has come to step fully into the authority that has always been yours. Type "I am empowered" in the comments if you receive this mantle. Blessing code 8888 is now igniting over your destiny. The veil between what was hidden and what is revealed is now lifting. You are entering the hour of unveiling, the moment where understanding meets manifestation. The real reason for your battle, the hidden motive behind every storm, every delay, every sleepless night, is now being uncovered. You were not attacked because you were weak, you were attacked because you were chosen. The intensity of your warfare was a reflection of your divine value. Heaven had marked you for an upgrade long before the enemy recognized your potential. The higher the calling, the greater the contention. And now that the refining is complete, the revelation can be released. Behold, says Archangel Michael, the seals are being broken. What was once restricted is now being granted. What was delayed is now being delivered. The portals of favor swing wide, and the scroll of your destiny is being unrolled before heaven's counsel. God is unlocking your next dimension, one marked by favor, access, and visibility. The very places where you were once ignored will now request your presence. The rooms that once rejected you will now open an invitation. The same mouths that doubted you will soon declare your elevation. This is not coincidence. This is divine recognition, recorded and decreed by heaven itself. Heaven has recorded your endurance. Every act of faith when no one was watching became evidence in the spiritual record. Every time you trusted without proof, a new line of inheritance was written beside your name. Every unseen seed sown in faith has reached harvest time. The fields you thought were barren are about to overflow with promise. The soil of your obedience is breaking open with abundance. You are standing in the moment when prayer meets reward, when persistence meets promise. This revelation is not simply about blessing. It is about becoming. You are being ushered into a new dimension of authority. The Spirit of God declares that your voice carries new weight. Your words will no longer echo. They will establish. When you decree, heaven will align. When you command, angels will move. You are not merely being blessed, you are being commissioned. This is the hour of your divine activation, where revelation becomes responsibility. Archangel Michael speaks with the authority of flame. The time of hiddenness is over. Heaven announces your promotion. Step forward into the space prepared for you. You have been weighed, tested, and found faithful. Therefore, the scrolls of elevation have been opened in your name. You are entering a season of divine acceleration. What took others years to achieve will manifest swiftly for you because you labored in obedience when no one saw. You stayed faithful when it was painful. You believed when it was irrational. That is why this moment belongs to you. Your name is now being pronounced in the spirit realm. The vibration of that name carries power. It is being spoken in meetings you have never attended, in places you have not yet entered. Divine recognition is not coming. It has begun. The Spirit of God moves like a whisper through the unseen, aligning the right hearts, opening the right doors, and ushering you into divine exposure. The light that surrounds you will not fade, for it is the reflection of God's favor. You have crossed into the realm where revelation becomes reality. What heaven has revealed will now manifest before your eyes. This is the prophetic unlocking, the unveiling of everything that has been promised. Stand ready, for what was hidden is now being revealed, and what was delayed is now being delivered. Type "I receive my revelation" in the comments if this word confirms your spirit. Blessing code 2024 is now open over your life. Beloved, if this prophetic revelation has touched your soul, then you already know you are part of something divine. What you've heard is not simply a message, it is an invitation to partnership in heaven's work. When you sow into this ministry through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to man. You are fueling the flame that awakens souls across the world. Your seed becomes light in someone else's darkness. The word declares, "He gives seed to the sower and bread to the eater," and as you give, heaven multiplies it back with divine increase. I invite you, in this holy moment, to move prophetically, not emotionally, but spiritually. Your act of faith will open doors of provision, not just for this mission, but for your own life. Every gift you release becomes a voice in heaven that says, "Send the message farther." Move in faith, release your seed, and watch the windows of heaven open over you. Heaven is silent for a brief moment, not in absence, but in reverence. The air grows still, the light steadies, and all creation pauses as your name is once again whispered before the throne. You have reached the threshold of activation. This is the moment when destiny calls for agreement. Heaven has prepared the table, but now it waits for your yes. The realms have been stirred, the angels have assembled, and the scrolls of instruction are being opened. The Spirit speaks now with solemn authority. Line your actions with your calling, and everything will accelerate in divine order. This is not a time to doubt. It is not a time to hide behind fear or unworthiness. The battles, the betrayals, the silent seasons, they were all designed to prepare your spirit for this precise moment of awakening. Heaven cannot partner with hesitation. It moves with obedience. When you say yes, even quietly within your heart, a chain reaction begins in the unseen realm. Angels shift their assignments. Doors that were locked begin to tremble. Opportunities awaken from slumber. Everything that belongs to you begins to magnetize itself toward your obedience. Declare this now. I am ready. I am chosen. I am positioned. When you speak it, something ancient recognizes your voice. Destiny is not something you chase. It is something you answer. You have been called, not by chance but by design. Every thread of your journey had been woven into divine intention. The seasons of loss, the lessons of waiting, the pressure of transformation, all of it was preparing the vessel for its purpose. And now, heaven releases the command for manifestation. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to second-guess what God has already confirmed. The mantle that has hovered above your life is descending now, resting upon your shoulders. It will feel heavy at first because it carries responsibility, but within that weight lies your authority. The Spirit says, "Step into what had been promised." Do not wait for validation, for heaven has already approved you. The approval of man will never outweigh the endorsement of God. You have heaven's signature on your life. The next steps you take will not be ordinary. You will find divine timing in unexpected moments. Words you speak will carry power beyond their sound. People will be drawn to your light not because of what you do, but because of what you carry. Destiny has a fragrance, and it is upon you now, the scent of divine oil, the aroma of fulfillment. The realm of heaven now recognizes you as active. Your name has been moved from preparation to operation. The Spirit declares, when you move, heaven moves with you. When you speak, heaven echoes your sound. When you act in obedience, Heaven multiplies your outcome. Divine momentum follows movement. Faith without motion is silence in the spirit realm, but faith that acts becomes thunder. Heaven responds to thunder. You are being called to move not in haste but in holy confidence. You are not stepping forward alone. The hosts of heaven are in step beside you. This is the activation of destiny. Every dormant gift is awakening. Every silenced promise is finding its voice. The light of divine instruction now burns within you. Step out, for the time of watching is over, and the time of walking has begun. You were created for this. You were preserved for this. And now you are being released for this. The countdown has reached its turning point. The divine voice that once called your name now declares your release. Heaven waits no longer. It moves with you. Type "I am activated" in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 1717 is now released to align your steps with divine order. There is a sacred stillness that falls when heaven begins to move in secrecy. The realm of light is never louder than when it appears silent. In this hour, a divine exchange is taking place, unseen, unspoken, but undeniably real. As you rest, heaven works. As you breathe, angels move. As you release, God replaces. There is no noise in this transaction, for holy things are often done in quiet spaces. The Father is orchestrating a reversal, a redirection, and a restoration, all without human interference. While you sleep, heaven speaks. While you weep, heaven records. Nothing has been lost to the winds of time. Everything has been kept, measured, and now multiplied. Every disappointment is being weighed against divine justice. Every tear you shed has been transformed into currency in the spiritual economy. The Father does not forget, and in this moment, He is commanding repayment with interest. What was stolen, your joy, your confidence, your peace, is now being returned to you in greater measure. What the enemy thought he could keep, heaven has reclaimed. The Spirit of God moves gently now, whispering, "Be still." There is an exchange taking place in your favor. The burdens you have carried for years are being lifted from your shoulders. The heaviness that once followed you like a shadow is being replaced by divine ease. The dreams that once felt distant are being redelivered to your spirit. You will not have to chase what belongs to you. It will find its way back by divine magnetism. The exchange is not only material, it is internal. Strength replaces weariness. Clarity replaces confusion. Peace replaces panic. Archangel Michael stands watch as this transfer unfolds. His wings stretch wide, forming a barrier around your spirit. Loving unclean can enter this moment. This is a sacred transaction between the Creator and His creation. The heavens are realigning what belongs to you. There are negotiations happening in the spirit realm. Unseen advocates interceding, ensuring that every injustice finds its balance. Every closed door that was meant to open begins to unlock. You are the subject of divine attention. The Father Himself has written your restoration into motion. Do not be alarmed if your surroundings grow quiet, if people step back, or if opportunities seem momentarily paused. It is part of the silence required for this exchange. The shifting of heaven's resources requires stillness in the earth. The silence you feel is not absence, it is transaction. The Spirit whispers again, "Hold your peace, for heaven is speaking on your behalf." When this exchange concludes, you will find that the very things that once brought sorrow will now carry blessing. The weight you felt pressing against you will turn into wind lifting beneath you. The exchange is already in progress. There will be signs that the shift has occurred. You may feel an unusual calm after long unrest. You may awaken with sudden joy, unexplainable yet undeniable. The Spirit will place divine impressions upon your heart, names to forgive, things to release, places to walk away from. Follow these promptings. They are the evidence of completion. What was once chaotic is now ordered. What was uncertain is now sealed. This is the divine trade, not loss but transfer. What the enemy stole will return multiplied. What was withheld will be released with interest. You will see, in days to come, that this silent moment was your turning point. The world will look at you and see restoration, but heaven will know it was an exchange. Be still and let the transaction finish. Do not interrupt what heaven is perfecting. The silence of now is the sound of your restoration. Type "I receive my restoration" in the comments if this word resonates with your soul. Blessing code 5656 is now active in your atmosphere. The time for reckoning has arrived. Divine justice has been triggered, and the scales that once seemed uneven are now being balanced by the hand of God Himself. Every false word spoken against you, every manipulation crafted in secrecy, every delay orchestrated in darkness is being confronted by the light of divine truth. Heaven has rendered its verdict. The gavel has struck in your favor. The season of injustice has ended, and the season of reversal has begun. Do not think for a moment that heaven was unaware of the wrongs done to you. The Father saw every hidden plot, every betrayal whispered behind closed doors, every act of deception meant to distort your name. But in His mercy, He allowed time to expose rather than destroy. He gave space for repentance. Yet now, the grace of waiting has expired. The decree of reversal had been released. What was meant to harm you will now propel you. The very stones thrown to wound you will form the steps to your elevation. The Spirit of truth moves like fire through the unseen corridors of your life, illuminating every hidden agenda. Masks are falling. Pretenses are dissolving. What once appeared powerful in darkness is powerless before the dawn. Behold, says the Lord, I make all things new. Those who once rejoiced in your delay will soon witness your acceleration. Those who mocked your silence will soon marvel at your restoration. Heaven's justice is not delayed. It is deliberate. When it comes swiftly and completely. Archangel Michael stands as the executor of this decree. His sword gleams with divine authority, cutting through the chains of oppression that once held you. The verdict is sealed, he declares. Vindication has been assigned to your name. There will be signs of this reversal in both spiritual and tangible form. Debts may be canceled. Relationships may realign. Truths long buried may suddenly surface. And when they do, know this: it is not coincidence, it is consequence. The justice of heaven is both restoration and revelation. The Spirit says, you will not need to fight for your reputation. I will speak for you. You will not need to chase what was taken. I will return it to you. The Lord of hosts has taken up your cause. Where human systems failed you, divine justice will prevail. Heaven's records never lose detail, every wrong accounted for, every kindness remembered. The days ahead will unfold like pages of a story rewritten by divine authorship. You will see that what felt like delay was preparation for perfect timing. Even now, angels are setting things in order. Doors that were unjustly shut are being reopened. Opportunities that were blocked by envy are re-emerging by favor. The very people who dismissed you will watch your reintroduction by heaven's hand. Your reversal will not be silent. It will be seen. Not to shame others, but to glorify the righteousness of God. You are the testimony that divine justice is real, that heaven defends its own. Lift your head, for restoration has already begun. The tables have turned. The narrative has shifted. What was broken is being rebuilt with better material. The ashes of your past are becoming the foundation of your new beginning. You will not return to what was, you will rise into what is greater. God's reversal is swift, and His justice is absolute. Take courage, for you will see it with your own eyes. The same God who allowed the trial has decreed the triumph. Heaven fights for you, and victory has already been declared. The verdict has been spoken, you win. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if this word confirms your spirit. Blessing code 9292 is now manifesting divine reversal in your life. And now, the sound of heaven softens. The storm has settled. The warfare has lifted, and peace descends like a mantle of light. A message concludes not in fear, but in fulfillment. Heaven knows your name, and that name has become a melody in the courts of eternity. What began in pain is ending in purpose. What started in confusion now finishes in clarity. You are standing at the end of the divine countdown, and the clock of destiny has reached 0. A shift is complete. Archangel Michael stands before you, radiant and unwavering. His wings fold in reverence as he declares, "It is done." The cycle that once felt endless has been broken. The heaviness that once clouded your days has been lifted. The very battles that once drained you have now defined you. You are sealed, seen, and said. The heavens bear witness to your transformation. The voice that once called your name in distress now calls it in victory. The Lord Himself rejoices over you with singing. Divine favor now walks ahead of you. It clears paths unseen. It softens hearts unknown. It opens doors untouched by human hands. Behind you stands protection, a legion of angels ensuring that what once attacked will never return. Above you shines the glory of promise fulfilled, and beneath you rests the foundation of grace unshakable. The old season is gone, its lessons preserved but its weight released. You have entered the hour of divine ease, where what once cost you sweat now responds to your command. Hear this clearly, you are no longer a vessel of survival, but a channel of overflow. The same light that delivered you now moves through you. You are an answer to prayers you once prayed. The very strength that heaven built in your silence will now speak through your testimony. You will walk differently, speak differently, perceive differently, because transformation has become your new nature. Archangel Michael whispers one final truth. You have stepped into your divine transformation, forever changed by the call of heaven. Every moment from this point forward will carry the mark of divine completion. The echo of your obedience will resound across generations. You are not waiting for a miracle, you have become one. The seal of favor rests upon your name, the code of heaven surrounds your being, and the light of God remains your eternal covering. Rise now, chosen one. Step forward with peace in your heart and fire in your spirit. The countdown has ended, but your ascension has just begun. Walk into your new season with authority, knowing that what was spoken in heaven has now manifested on earth. The message is sealed. A covenant stands. The shift is eternal. Type "I am transformed" in the comments if this message confirms your spirit. Blessing code 1000 is now upon your new beginning. Before this message closes, I want you to hear this clearly. The same light that has reached you tonight must keep traveling. When you sow into this word, you are not supporting a platform. You are extending heaven's reach. Every gift through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a seed that carries light into another soul's darkness. Freely you have received, the Spirit declares, freely give. As you release your offering, angels record your act as worship, not transaction. Your giving becomes oil poured upon the altar of divine purpose, ensuring that messages like this continue to awaken hearts across the world. This is your prophetic moment of partnership, so not from emotion but from obedience. For every seed carries a destiny, and this one carries your name upon it. Heaven sees, heaven multiplies, and heaven remembers. Move now in faith, release your light, and may your giving echo through eternity.